Hey, what's up? This is Joe. This video is going to take you on a moto camping journey across the Midwest as I make my way east across the Great Plains of the United States. Early in the morning on September 8th, 2024, I left Sturgis and headed east. My ultimate destination was Maryville, Tennessee to work the Smoky Mountain Bike Week, although I planned to make a few stops along the way. With the Black Hills in my rear view, I rode across the flat plains of South Dakota. Once I'd crossed the Missouri River, I was in the capital city of Pierre. From there, I headed to a town park in Miller, South Dakota, which allowed camping. All right, getting everything dried out this morning. This is in the town of Miller, where they've got this beautiful kind of city park type of a deal. Apparently completely free. So I was under those trees last night and slept like a rock. Still got some more of South Dakota to cover, and then probably down into maybe Nebraska, maybe Iowa, probably going through like Sioux Falls and Sioux City. Not in any particular hurry, really. So we'll see where we end up. Harkening back to the old days of the pioneers, there were a conspicuous number of horses and horse-drawn buggies on the road, which had apparently gotten together for some sort of a massive group ride. Zigzagging my way southeast on back roads, I headed over to Mitchell, South Dakota to see the world-famous Corn Palace. One of the major tourist attractions in South Dakota, the Corn Palace features a facade which is built entirely out of dried up corn cobs and stalks and is rebuilt every year with a new design. After crossing the mighty Missouri yet again, I was back in the state of Iowa. With a solid 320 miles of riding in the bag, I made my way into the lush mountains of the Loess Hills State Forest to try to look for a place to make camp. All right, I'm in this cool kind of a state park in the state of Iowa. Obviously, Iowa, for the most part, pretty flat, but this is a kind of a, can't really call it a mountain range, sort of a strip of some hilly sort of land. I don't see any no camping signs, so I guess I'm good. Probably what I'll do is kind of walk around a little bit, kind of scout out the environment, but this place looks absolutely beautiful. I got a nice canopy up there. Oh man, was walking through these woods, accidentally brushed up against that stinging nettle. I think I've got some Gorilla Tape in here. I'm gonna take a piece of that and see if I can stick them to these stinging nettle kind of needles that are in my skin right now. That's really uncomfortable, but not nearly as bad as like the, apparently there's a stinging nettle in Australia that they call the suicide plant because the pain is so bad. A number of people have been known to brush by it and actually make the decision to take their own lives. So I'm just kind of trying to get these stickers out of here. That's better. All right, well, it's not exactly the Vagabond Gourmet, but I did manage to pick up some pretty good quality sardines on sale. I got some tapatio. This is just easier than anything. I've done a little over 300 miles today, which is kind of about at my limit. I wanted to put down some miles while the weather was nice. It's been a little windy, but for the most part, I've been pretty much riding through a headwind and really hasn't been that bad. For that matter, the temperature's been in the 70s, so I'm actually still wearing my long johns. I actually just feel fine, but it can get brutally hot and windy out in this part of the country, so my strategy is put down as many miles as possible while the weather is good. That way, if I do have some like ridiculously hot and windy days, I can kind of take it a little more easy. All right, walking up here to get my sardine cans that I tied in the tree. It was a weird night out here. Something came sniffing around, a coyote or something. I got this like air horn thing that's ridiculously loud, and I fired that off and it took off into the woods. I shined my flashlight over there. It looked like a lone coyote, interestingly enough. There were just all kinds of sounds going on all night long, all around me. Lots of wildlife, stuff dropping out of trees. I continued east across the state of Iowa, riding up and over the mountains on the Fontainebleau Scenic Loop and onto flat country roads which would take me to the middle of the state. Gotta say, I feel like I'm seeing a side of Iowa that I never knew existed. In contrast to most of the flat parts of the state that I've been, this ride's been absolutely awesome. But anyway, there's a really cool like footbridge, which is about an hour away. I'm gonna go over there and check that out and then play it by ear. The effect of walking on this bridge is kind of like you're falling kind of over to one side like that, because the square just kind of keeps gradually turning. Around the town of Newton, I began to look for a place to make camp. This is some type of abandoned sort of an RV park behind the speedway over there. There's all these nice concrete slabs, but not a whole lot of trees over top of them. So right now I'm just going to get something to eat and not really worry about where I'm going to camp so much just yet. I need a break. All right, your basic rotisserie chicken for dinner. I got a lemon for that and salsa tapatio in there somewhere. But yeah, it looks like there's a pretty decent spot over there. I was definitely taking a risk camping near an open field like this, since in all likelihood, most of my gear would be soaking wet with dew in the morning. To try to ameliorate the situation, I placed my camp as close to the sparse tree canopy as possible. All right, as predicted, everything got absolutely soaking wet, even though I tried to be as much under the trees as possible. Just being in this kind of open field area like that, everything always gets soaking wet. So I got like my rain fly and tarps and stuff over there in the sun, kind of drying out. I'm not in too much of a hurry today. I've already done, like I said, 3 days of relatively hard riding. So got like another couple 100 miles to Illini State Park, which is obviously a park that I like a lot. So probably stay there and rest up for a couple of days and then get back on the road. Once I'd gotten everything more or less dried out, I hopped on Interstate 80 to make up some time and headed towards the state of Illinois. Since I was already in the neighborhood, I stopped by the I-80 truck stop to rest up a bit and grab some coffee and a sticker. Well, you don't see that every day. The town of Marseilles and the close by Illini State Park are always a highlight for me when I'm in the Midwest. The weather was in the mid-70s, and since it was late in the season, there were few tourists to be found. I virtually had the whole place to myself, and after covering a substantial distance over the past 4 days, I was really looking forward to relaxing and taking it easy for a bit before getting back on the road. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. And as usual, I've included an optional donate link in the drop box for anybody that might like to contribute to this project. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road.